All right, welcome to another deep dive. We are diving into agentic AI today. We've got a whole stack of research papers here, and
Yeah.
I have to say some of this stuff is pretty mind-bending, so buckle up.
It's a fascinating field for sure. People often imagine agentic AI as something out of like a sci-fi movie, but it's already woven into our lives in ways we might not even realize.
Yeah, okay, so let's start with the basics. What is agentic AI?
Right.
What sets it apart from, say, the AI that recommends songs on my playlist?
Think of it this way. The AI suggesting your next favorite tune is reactive.
Okay.
It's analyzing your past choices and making predictions.
Got her.
Agentic AI, on the other hand, is proactive.
Okay.
It's not just predicting, it's acting to achieve specific goals. It can operate independently, learn from experience, and even adapt to changing circumstances.
So it's not just about following instructions.
Yeah.
It's about understanding a desired outcome and figuring out the best way to get there.
Exactly. Take a self-driving car.
Yeah.
The goal is to get from point A to point B safely and efficiently.
Right.
A traditional AI system might rely on pre-programmed rules and routes.
Okay.
But an agentic AI is constantly analyzing the environment, making real-time decisions based on traffic flow, weather conditions, and even predicting the behavior of other drivers.
That's a pretty stark contrast to the early days of AI, right? I mean, where did this all begin?
Well, you can trace it back to the Dartmouth Conference in 1956.
Okay.
It's considered the birthplace of AI as a field. A group of scientists came together to explore this idea of creating machines that could think like humans. It was a bold vision.
It sounds like the early days were full of optimism, but I know there were some bumps in the road too, right?
There were, yeah.
Well,
there were these periods called AI winters.
Oh, yeah.
Where funding and interest dried up.
Right.
A lot of it stemmed from unrealistic expectations. People thought we'd have human-level AI in just a few years.
Wow.
But the reality was much more complex. Some projects failed spectacularly.
Oh, really?
Like the attempt to create a universal machine translator.
I see.
Yeah.
And what did researchers learn from those setbacks? How did those AI winters shape the development of agentic AI?
It forced a shift towards more practical, achievable goals. Researchers started focusing on specific problems that AI could solve, like playing chess or recognizing patterns in data. They also realized the importance of robust data sets and algorithms.
And that leads us to where we are today. You mentioned earlier that agentic AI is already part of our lives. What are some examples of how it's being used right now?
We see it in finance, where AI agents are managing investments, assessing risks, and even detecting fraud in real time.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The speed and accuracy of AI must be incredibly valuable in a field like finance.
Oh, absolutely.
Where else are we seeing agentic AI making an impact?
In healthcare, agentic AI is streamlining administrative tasks, analyzing medical images, and even assisting with diagnoses. Imagine an AI that can help doctors personalize treatments based on a patient's unique genetic makeup and lifestyle.
Okay, that's definitely starting to feel like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
But it also makes me think about the potential impact on jobs.
Right.
If AI can handle these complex tasks, what does that mean for the human workforce?
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it's something we'll definitely be discussing in more depth later.
Okay.
The truth is, the rise of agentic AI is going to change the nature of work.
Yeah.
And it's crucial that we prepare for that shift.
All right, so hold that thought.
Okay.
We'll come back to the question of jobs and the future of work.
Yeah.
But first, I'm curious about the mechanisms behind agentic AI. How do these systems actually learn and adapt? You mentioned reinforcement learning and evolutionary algorithms earlier.
Right.
What are those in a nutshell?
Well, imagine teaching a dog a new trick.
Okay.
You reward them for good behavior.
Right.
And they eventually learn to associate the action with the reward.
Yeah.
Reinforcement learning works in a similar way. An AI agent is given a goal and a set of possible actions.
Right.
It experiments, learns from its mistakes, and gets rewarded when it takes actions that move it closer to the goal.
So it's a trial and error process?
Yeah.
But at an incredibly fast pace.
Exactly.
What about evolutionary algorithms? How do those play a role?
Think of it like natural selection.
Okay.
In nature, the fittest individuals survive and pass on their genes.
Right.
Evolutionary algorithms use a similar approach.
Okay.
They create a population of potential solutions to a problem. The best solutions are selected, and then recombined to create new solutions.
Interesting.
And the process repeats until an optimal solution emerges.
So it's a way of letting the AI system evolve towards a solution.
Yeah.
By mimicking the process of evolution in nature.
Exactly. And it's these kinds of advanced learning mechanisms that are making agentic AI so powerful and adaptable.
It's amazing how much progress has been made, but I also want to dig deeper into some of the complexities of agentic AI. For example, you mentioned that these systems are designed to achieve specific goals.
Right.
But how do we ensure that those AI goals align with human values?
Yeah.
How do we prevent unintended consequences?
That's one of the biggest challenges we face, and it's a topic we'll explore in more depth in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, all right, so stay tuned for that. But before we wrap up this segment, there's one more question I have to ask.
Yeah.
What are some of the most exciting but potentially risky applications of agentic AI that you see on the horizon? What are the areas where we need to proceed with extra caution?
Well, I'd say one of the most fascinating and potentially transformative applications is in the realm of personalized medicine.
Okay.
Imagine AI agents that can analyze your individual genetic data, monitor your health in real time, and even develop personalized treatment plans.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
But I can also see the potential for ethical concerns.
Absolutely.
Who has access to that data?
Right.
How do we ensure that these AI-driven treatments are safe and equitable?
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations now before these technologies become widespread.
Right.
We need to think about the ethical implications, the potential risks, and the safeguards we need to put in place.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect segue to our next segment.
Yeah.
Where we'll delve deeper into the ethical considerations and the potential impact of agentic AI on society as a whole.
Looking forward to it.
All right, so stay tuned.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Awesome.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Before the break, we were talking about some of the potential risks and ethical considerations surrounding agentic AI. It seems like with every technological leap forward, there are always, unforeseen consequences. I mean, look at social media. What started as a way to connect with friends has turned into, we all know how that's playing out.
It's true. Technological advancements often come with a mixed bag of benefits and challenges. And with agentic AI, the stakes are arguably even higher.
Yeah.
We're talking about systems that can make decisions with a level of autonomy we haven't seen before.
So where do we even begin to address these concerns? I mean, AI is already out there in the world.
Right.
And it's only going to become more sophisticated.
You're right. AI is evolving rapidly. But it's not a runaway train.
No.
We still have the opportunity to shape its development and ensure that it aligns with our values. One key area is transparency.
Right.
We need to be able to understand how these AI systems are making decisions. It can't be a black box.
That makes sense. If we're going to trust these systems to make important decisions, we need to know how they're arriving at those decisions.
Yeah.
But isn't that a challenge in itself?
Yeah.
I mean, AI algorithms can be incredibly complex.
Absolutely. And that's why we need researchers and developers who are committed to building explainable AI systems. Systems that can, in a sense, show their work so that we can understand the logic and the data behind their decisions.
So transparency is key.
Yes.
What other safeguards do we need to consider?
Another crucial aspect is control.
Okay.
We need to ensure that we maintain a certain level of human oversight over these agentic AI systems. We need to be able to intervene if necessary to correct course if the AI's actions are veering off track.
That sounds like a delicate balance.
Yeah.
We want the AI to be autonomous, but we also need to be able to step in and take the reins if things go wrong.
Yeah.
How do we find that sweet spot?
It requires careful design and constant vigilance. We need to build in safety mechanisms, kill switches, if you will.
Right.
And we need to be constantly monitoring these systems to make sure they're behaving as intended.
Okay, so transparency and control are essential.
Yes.
What about the question of unintended consequences? I mean, how do we anticipate and mitigate the potential downsides of a technology that's evolving so rapidly?
It's a challenge, for sure. One approach is to create robust testing environments.
Okay.
Simulated worlds, if you will,
Right.
where we can safely experiment with different AI agents and scenarios.
Right.
This allows us to observe their behavior, identify potential risks, and refine their design before they're released into the real world.
So it's like a virtual sandbox where we can let the AI play and learn.
Yeah.
but in a controlled environment where we can minimize the risks.
Exactly. And it's also crucial to involve a diverse range of stakeholders in the development and deployment of agentic AI.
Okay.
We need ethicists, social scientists, policymakers, and everyday citizens at the table, providing input and perspectives that might not be obvious to those who are solely focused on the technical aspect.
That makes a lot of sense. We need to make sure that AI is being developed with a broad perspective, taking into account the potential impact on society as a whole.
Precisely. And it's important to remember that AI is a tool. It's a powerful tool, but it's ultimately up to us as humans to decide how we use it. We need to be thoughtful, deliberate, and always mindful of the ethical implications.
I like that. AI as a tool.
Yeah.
It reminds us that we're still in the driver's seat. But I also think about the fact that AI is constantly learning and evolving.
Right.
What happens when it starts to outpace our ability to understand it? What happens when we create AI systems that are smarter than we are?
That's a question that has been debated for decades.
Right.
The idea of artificial superintelligence, AI that surpasses human capabilities in every way, is both fascinating and potentially terrifying.
Yeah.
And it's a topic that deserves careful consideration.
So are we on the verge of creating AI that could potentially pose a threat to humanity? Is the Terminator scenario a real possibility?
I don't think we're there yet.
Okay.
And there are many experts who believe that true artificial general intelligence, AI that can truly rival human intelligence, is still a long way off.
Okay.
But it's not something we should dismiss out of hand.
So we need to proceed with caution, but also with a sense of wonder.
Yes.
It's an exciting time to be alive, witnessing the birth of a technology that has the potential to reshape our world in profound ways.
I agree. It's an incredible opportunity, but it's also a tremendous responsibility.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that we're steering this ship in the right direction towards a future where AI enhances our lives and helps us solve some of the biggest challenges facing humanity.
Well said.
Yeah.
So what does that future look like? What are some of the most promising applications of agentic AI that you see on the horizon? What are the areas where you're most optimistic about its potential impact?
I'm particularly excited about the potential of agentic AI in the field of scientific discovery.
Okay.
Imagine AI systems that can analyze massive data sets, identify patterns that would be invisible to humans, and accelerate the pace of research in fields like medicine, materials science, and climate change.
So AI could become a partner in scientific discovery, helping us unlock new knowledge and solve some of the most pressing problems facing our planet.
Exactly. And it's not just about crunching numbers.
Okay.
Agentic AI could also help us design more efficient experiments, test hypotheses more effectively, and even come up with entirely new research directions that we humans might never have thought of.
That's a pretty mind-blowing thought.
Yeah.
AI is a catalyst for human ingenuity. It makes me wonder what other breakthroughs might be possible if we can harness the power of agentic AI in a responsible and ethical way.
The possibilities are truly vast. Imagine AI systems that can personalize education, tailoring learning experiences to each individual's needs and abilities. Or AI agents that can help us manage complex systems like cities and transportation networks, making them more efficient, sustainable, and resilient.
It sounds like we're on the cusp of a new era, an era where AI is not just a tool, but a collaborator, a partner in shaping a better future. But I also keep coming back to the question of jobs.
Right.
If AI is going to be doing so much of the work, what does that mean for the future of human employment?
It's a valid concern, and it's one we need to address head on.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that the rise of agentic AI will disrupt certain industries and displace some jobs, but it will also create new opportunities, new roles that we can't even imagine yet.
So it's not necessarily a zero-sum game.
No.
It's about adaptation, about finding ways for humans and AI to work together in a complementary way.
Exactly. And it's about investing in education and training programs that equip people with the skill they need to thrive in an AI-powered world.
Right.
We need to focus on developing uniquely human skills like creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and the ability to collaborate effectively with both humans and AI.
It sounds like we're talking about a fundamental shift in how we think about work, about education, and about the role of technology in our lives.
It is a fundamental shift. And it's a shift that's already underway. The question is, will we be ready for it? Will we embrace the challenges and opportunities that agentic AI presents, or will we shy away from the unknown?
Those are some pretty profound questions.
Yeah.
And I think they're questions that we'll be grappling with for years to come. But I'm curious to hear your perspective.
Sure.
As someone who's deeply immersed in the world of AI, are you optimistic about the future?
I am cautiously optimistic. I believe that agentic AI has the potential to make our lives better in countless ways.
Yeah.
But it's up to us to ensure that it's developed and deployed responsibly, ethically, and with a deep understanding of its potential impact on humanity.
Well said. And on that note, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up our deep dive into agentic AI with some final thoughts and reflections. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been exploring this fascinating world of agentic AI, and I have to say, it's the more we learn, the more intriguing it becomes. You know, we've talked about its potential to revolutionize industries, solve complex problems, and even partner with us in scientific discovery.
It's a powerful tool, no doubt.
Yeah.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. It all comes down to the choices we make.
And that brings us back to a theme that's been woven throughout our conversation. Responsibility.
Yes.
We've talked about the need for transparency, control, and ethical considerations in the development and deployment of agentic AI.
Right.
But, you know, it strikes me that those are not just technical challenges. They're societal challenges.
You're absolutely right. We can't just leave it to the engineers and the coders to figure this out.
Right.
We need a broader conversation, a collective effort to ensure that agentic AI benefits humanity as a whole.
So what does that look like in practice? How do we ensure that these powerful technologies are used responsibly and ethically?
Well, for one thing, we need to start early.
Okay.
We need to integrate ethical considerations into the very fabric of AI education and research.
Right.
We need to cultivate a generation of AI developers who are not just technically skilled, but also ethically aware.
So it's not just about teaching them how to build AI.
Right.
But also why and for whom.
Exactly. We need to instill a sense of purpose, a recognition that AI is not just about creating cool gadgets or automating tasks.
Right.
But about solving real-world problems and improving people's lives.
That makes a lot of sense, but it also seems like a tall order.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we ensure that ethical considerations don't get lost in the race to develop the next big AI breakthrough?
It requires a shift in mindset.
Yeah.
A recognition that ethics is not an afterthought or a constraint, but an integral part of the design process.
Right.
It's about asking tough questions from the outset, about anticipating potential risks,
Right.
and about designing systems that align with our values.
So it's about building ethical guardrails into the very foundation of these technologies.
Precisely. And it's about creating a culture of accountability, where developers and companies are held responsible for the consequences of their creations.
It sounds like we need a whole new set of rules.
Yes.
A new framework for governing the development and deployment of agentic AI.
Me too. And that's something that policymakers, industry leaders, and society as a whole need to work together to create.
Right.
It's a complex challenge,
Yeah.
but it's one that we can't afford to ignore.
I agree. The stakes are too high. But amidst all this talk of risks and challenges,
Yeah.
I also want to circle back to the incredible potential of agentic AI.
Right.
We've talked about personalized medicine, scientific discovery, more efficient cities.
Yeah.
What are some other areas where you see agentic AI making a positive impact?
I'm particularly excited about the potential of agentic AI in the field of education.
Okay.
Imagine AI tutors that can adapt to each student's individual learning style and pace, providing personalized instruction that's far more effective than traditional classroom teaching.
That would be a game changer for so many students who struggle in the traditional education system.
Absolutely.
What other possibilities are you excited about?
Another area that holds immense promise is accessibility.
Okay.
Agentic AI could help people with disabilities navigate the world more easily,
Right.
providing real-time assistance with tasks that might otherwise be challenging or impossible.
So agentic AI could not only enhance our capabilities, but also empower those who have been marginalized or excluded.
Exactly. It has the potential to create a more inclusive and equitable society.
Right.
But again, it all comes down to how we choose to develop and deploy these technologies.
That's a powerful reminder that technology is not inherently good or bad.
Right.
It's a reflection of our own values, our own intentions.
I couldn't agree more. The future of agentic AI is not preordained. It's a future that we are actively shaping with each decision we make, each line of code we write, each conversation we have about its potential and its perils.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one message you want our listeners to take away?
The future is not something that happens to us. It's something we create. And agentic AI is one of the most powerful tools we have at our disposal.
Yeah.
Let's use it wisely, with a sense of responsibility, and with a shared commitment to building a future that benefits all of humanity.
Well said. And on that note, we'll bring this deep dive to a close. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of agentic AI. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep imagining the possibilities.